What is going on, guys, and welcome to the channel. This is part 3 of the Taylor drifts build. We're doing the full exhaust for his Miata drift car. Last week's episode we did the headers, long tube. We finished these guys up, did the breakdown video in the first part. Holy fuck. It's a little windy. But in this episode we're going to be doing the titanium exhaust. So from here out it's going to be all titanium goodness all around that transmission, down the drive shaft, around this giant diff, and we're going to try to shoot them out that way because Taylor said that when he wants to do burnouts, he wants the exhaust to actually plume the smoke sideways and just like rocket it out the side of the car, which is a pretty cool idea. What I would like to do though is try to keep it as tight as I can. I'm going to put 2 V-bands right here so he has the ability to be able to switch it out and, you know, modify it and do whatever he wants if he ever in the future wanted to do center exit or whatever else. So I'll just put a couple of V-bands at the end there. Ticon's a pretty awesome company. They make some really amazing titanium products. What we have here is some of their pie cuts. What I like to do before I get into building a titanium exhaust is I'll tack weld the pie cut packs together to make little 45s. And if I need to, I'll just double those up and make a 90. Now, when you're doing these pie cuts, it's essential that you need to get them like dead square on, because if they like kind of jog around or something, it's gonna make the bend look really weird, especially when you weld it. So a little trick I found is that there's an actual seam on the inside of each one of these pie cuts where this originally began its life as a flat sheet of titanium. They put it through a roller and then they weld it together. So that seam, for me, adds as like a guide. So then I can take that seam all the way down the inside of the pipe and then weld each one together, and then I know they're perfectly in line and makes a perfect bend. We're gonna be using these flex bellows right out of his headers, because on the exhaust systems you wanna have a little bit of a transitional area where the stainless is gonna heat, it's gonna grow and shrink at a faster, or a different rate rather than the titanium, because it's totally different metallurgy. We're gonna use this flex bellow here, and we're gonna come right out of the header and get it about as close as we can so that will start our exhaust system. So we're gonna come out here with a couple pie cuts, come with the flex bellow, see what we gotta do with the cross member to try to get the exhaust as tight as we can up to it, and then run it all the way out the back. Let's get to work. When you guys are handling titanium like this, get yourself some nitro gloves, like mechanics gloves. The material will soak in your fingerprints and dirt and grease or anything that you might have on your hands. Super easy. And when you go to weld this stuff, it just soaks in like an imprint. So if you can keep the material as clean as possible while you're handling it and trying to get everything where you want it, it's gonna make welding it like so much easier. And that's just one thing I've learned over the years. And also your bench surface has to be super clean when you're working with titanium as well. Kind of goes with stainless also, but titanium even more so because of probably its properties. But you know, just use clean hands for goodness sakes. So I got my timing marks set up on these first couple bends. And what I like to do is, once I start building up from this V-band connection, I'm able to take this on and off pretty much all the way to like halfway down the length of the car. The titanium is so light. You don't really need a lot of support to hold it up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tack this together. I'm gonna tack away from these Sharpie marks so that they don't melt into the metal. So I'm gonna tack probably on the far side, this side, on the inside, and then I'll wipe that clean and do one more tack on top of it. Once I have these all tacked up, we'll throw them in the car and then see where we're at and be able to keep running past the transmission. All tacked up. All right, so I'm already having to modify things on Taylor's car. I hope he's okay with it. The transmission cross member that came with the, I guess, swap kit or whatever it is, they wanted you to run the exhaust under. But as you can see right here, if this pump wasn't here, I'd have more than enough room to be able to run this 3-inch right above it. More so like back in this corner over here, get the wires kind of tucked up a little higher. But if I bring this in further and kind of come down a little bit, I'll be able to get it like here, which is exactly where I'm gonna want it in order for the ground clearance to be maximized, because the last thing we want is, if he goes off track, it's gonna rip the exhaust out from under the car, and that'd be a bad day. So We're gonna modify the transmission cross member. It shouldn't be too difficult to get this thing where we want it, so we can get the exhaust sitting nice and high and up nice and tucked inside of this transmission tunnel where we want it. I hate sewing, yes I really do. Oh. All right guys, so the exhaust is halfway to the transmission cross member here. So we're about 3/4 of the way through the exhaust. Well, 1/4 of the way. I still have 3/4 of the way to go still. What we have is our flex joints in. I'm starting to jog it over this transmission brace. The transmission brace, I redid it. Before it wanted you to go below the exhaust, but I wanted to keep everything real tight. I don't really have a choice with this guy because the gearbox is a little bit more to the passenger side than the driver's side, as you can see. And the chassis normally wanted the exhaust on this side, so there's a big divot here when the driver actually sits on. So I'm just gonna probably dimple this a little bit once the exhaust is kind of done and set. But from here, we're gonna start moving back and creating our Xpipe. And the Xpipe's what's gonna make the noise. It's actually gonna make like the most sound out of the exhaust system. H-pipes and X-pipes. H-pipes normally equalize the pulses, and X-pipes squeeze everything together and make that really thundering noise that you want out of an exhaust system. All right guys, so time to do the X-pipe. I got a line right here on the center of the drive shaft, and what that does is it gives you kind of a gauge as to where the center of this X-pipe should fall. Once you have this line set up, once you have your two sides to the point where you're ready to merge them together, then you just put your pipes up there, and I'll show you on the bench what I have laid out. This kind of gives me the idea as to how to do the U-bend, so I know exactly how much. I only want to do about an inch merge, so let's go over the bench and I'll show you real quick. All right, so here are the two U-bends that I'm going to merge together. This line dictates that drive shaft. I only want to do a 1-inch merge, so what I'm going to do is I have just a loose mark right here and right here. And how I got that was I put this right over this line, and it gives you the ability to be able to see exactly where you want to start and finish. This should give us a little bit of a merge. I don't want too much, because if I do too much, then I'm going to have too much restriction coming through this X-pipe. Just enough to get a little bit of sound out of it. Got them nice and cut, cleaned up. Now, just merge them together and weld it up. Forward part of the exhaust is out of the car, and what I'd like to do is weld up these sections first before I'm going to merge it to the X-pipe. The X-pipe's going to take a lot of heat, and it's going to move just a little bit. All these components, all these pie cuts are all going to have a little bit of movement. So before you tack it all together and then weld it all in one piece, it's probably better just to weld into these smaller sections and then join them together, because these are going to go, this guy's going to go right there. So this is the transmission hump right here, and then the X-pipe's right behind the transmission. So I'm going to try to get everything all set up. I'm going to do a lot of welding today, so time-lapse time. A couple hours later, we have the left bank done. This is going to be the mid-pipe right here that is right beside the transmission. All these pie cuts take forever to weld, but it gives the titanium this really cool gold, almost like scaling, like lobster tail look. I kind of dig it. It just really sucks that it's going to go underneath the car, but for the most part, it looks cool on the bench. So we got this one done. It's going to go right there. Now I get to start all over again with this one. Thankfully, once these two pipes are done and the X-pipe is done, this guy, that'll be like the bulk of the welding in this exhaust system. Because after that, we get to run the straight pipes back down the midsection all the way back to where the diff is. And where the diff is, there's got the little 45s that just kind of kink around the differential, and then from there it'll just kind of kick out. So the bulk of the welding in this exhaust system is definitely in this midsection area right here. So once this is done, it'll be like kind of like the home stretch. Not really though. Happening right now. For the driver's side, there's not really much to melt other than this brake line right here that needs to be kind of shifted over. You can see it right there. On this side, there's a lot more stuff going on. He has his fuel lines, which are already wrapped in some really high temp heat shielding right here, which is great for the fuel line. Plus it's steel braided, so that's going to be okay. But just to be double safe, just so we don't like fire, and I know that Taylor's had some issues in the past with his SC. The collector, it sits like right here. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna wrap the collector with this header wrap, and that's gonna keep the temps way down if anything touches it or rubs it, so that's gonna mitigate all chances of melting. On top of that, the starter is gonna sit like right inside of this cubby right here. So we have this nice wrap that's gonna go around the starter and completely cover this guy and stop any of the wires or any of these components from overheating. When you're doing long tubes in the car that's like this, it's super tight, you're gonna have to mitigate all of the chances of wires or fuel lines or anything like that touching each other. So that's why we're gonna use as much header wrap and wrapping materials as we can in order to stop anything from even happening. Just doing our best to try to keep it on track as long as possible. So let's get to it. Midpipes are in, headers are in, got our wrap done, got the starter in with that DEI wrap to protect all the electronics from getting cooked. That's the best we can do for right now with that. So like I said before, these three components are now completely welded, so don't have to worry about them moving anymore. The more the stuff you weld it, the more it's gonna move, the more everything's gonna kind of shift around and everything. What we're gonna do now that all these are welded, fixed in place, got our V-bands up, I'm gonna go ahead and position our Xpipe. I'm gonna tack it in the car. It's gotta move over a little bit. I'm gonna tack this in the car and then run our pipes out the back, and then we can take it all out, do a final weld, and then final install. Several hours later, we have all three pieces plus our rear pieces all welded up. So now we can install into the car and run the tips out the back. So once you have everything all welded up and where you want it, give it a nice wipe down with some acetone, and this is the finished product. Lots and lots of hours of welding. All right guys, we got beers in our hand because this exhaust is done. Full titanium, 3-inch dual with an Xpipe. Tucked it up as tight as we could get it on the bottom of Taylor's Miata. Long tube headers and a reinforced cross member there.
Beautiful custom work, Tim.
Thank you. So a lot of you guys are probably asking and wondering what something like this would cost. Well, a lot. This would cost probably in the neighborhood of about $10,000 to $12,000 if I had to do it all again.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching, yes. This is like on Lambo status. Every pie cut probably takes, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes, and there's like 50 billion of them. And we have the tips here that need to be finished. So what we want to do, guys, we're going to pass the baton, so to speak, back over to Taylor's channel. The link is in the description below. what you want to do is head over there. You get to see the last little touches we're going to do on these tips, and then we're going to start it up, do some burnouts, and Taylor's going to get the heck out of here. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you later.
Peace.